What makes things worse is there's this myth about posing. People think when I go on a photo shoot, I have to pose in front of a camera. What they mean by posing is I have to pretend to be something else. Like I have to pretend I'm happy, I have to pretend I'm sad, I have to pretend I'm flirty, I have to pretend something. And since most people are not good actresses and actors, it's gonna look really, really stupid. Have you ever seen like a play or a movie where the acting is really bad? Why is it bad? Because their pretending is not believable. You can tell that they're pretending, that it's not real. Same thing with posing. When somebody's a regular person, they've never been in front of a camera, they're shy of the camera, and all of a sudden you ask them to pose or to act, they don't know how to do it, so they try to pretend to be somebody else and they do it really bad, and then the images look really, really terrible because you can see the person is pretending to be somebody else and it just looks really, really stupid. So what is the solution? Well, the solution is the couple or the person, they shouldn't pretend to be somebody else. They should just be themselves, which means they have to relax and be comfortable and just act themselves. So this is actually the job of a photographer, to help them be themselves. And this, I would say, is the most difficult part of my job. Like, I know everything about lighting, I feel like I know a lot about technical stuff, but what's difficult every time is you are on a shoot with a couple, they've never been in front of a camera, and you have to act in a way that helps them relax, be comfortable, and stop pretending to be somebody else, but instead let go and just be natural. For example, when you're taking a picture of somebody and you ask them, please smile, if they're faking that smile, the expression is gonna look really terrible because you can see they're faking the smile. Instead, you have to evoke natural emotion. You have to make them feel that emotion that makes them smile. So for me, I just often tell a joke, or I ask somebody else to tell a joke, and then if they laugh, if they naturally laugh, then when you capture that, then the viewer of the photograph, it'll be believable to them. You can see, oh, they're actually happy. I was shooting an engagement session, and the couple was great. Like, I love the couple, but it was hard for them to loosen up. Like, when we started out, this happens, they're just kind of like, all right, so what do we do? Like, that's like the worst question I can get. Like, they stand somewhere by where I tell them, all right, go stand over there. They stand there and they're like, okay, what do we do? And they like feel so lost. It's awkward. They've never been on the camera. So we were loosening up and taking pictures and so forth, but the guy is like a little, I'd say, like reserved, and he's kind of shy of the camera. Understandable, I totally get it, but I have to fix the situation. I have to make him loosen up. So what can I do to loosen up and get some life out of him? Because you can have like a few shots where he's like smiling or just looking in the camera, but I wanted some more life, right? And you can't just tell him, like, all right, now like be crazy and do crazy stuff, and like you can't expect this regular person to all of a sudden like go crazy and like have all these emotions. So as we're going, I made up this completely random thing. I'm like, oh, I was telling them, oh, I like this wall and I want you guys to like jump, because I like jumping pictures. I hate jumping pictures, but I thought this would like loosen them up. So it actually really, really worked, because what I was looking for, I wasn't looking for the picture of them jumping, because that looks kind of stupid, but I really like the images in between when they're like laughing and they're like, oh, this is crazy, I'm jumping. Well, it worked, alright? So here, if you look at the images, you'll see that first, he's jumping, and it looks kind of stupid. But then, look at that smile or that laugh, like, it looks so awesome, he's so, like, into it. And there's another one, too, where, it looks just natural, like, he looks like he's having fun. And with her, she was jumping, but then she's like, oh, I gotta take off my shoes. So I actually, like, really, really love this shot right here, where she's throwing the shoe. I don't know, just not something you can pose really. And the laughing shots that she has here are not shots that you can pose. Like, those crazy like laughs, natural laughs, they have to be natural. Like, you're not gonna be able to tell the person, okay, laugh crazy, but you have to laugh in the way that you're attractive. Like, that's not gonna work. So you actually have to have them do it. So yeah, that's another example how you see a problem in the person. Like, they're shy, or they don't have much life on the images, and then you try to fix it and you just make up all kinds of stuff. Like, you can have them jump. So whatever is needed, do that to get the emotion out of them. And that way, once again, it's going to be real emotion and it's going to look attractive. Now notice what happens when they're about to kiss, right? So I'm standing right in the middle, or I'm squatting down right in the middle, and when they're kissing, I got them kissing. Then the next half second, I turn to my left, take pictures of her parents clapping. Then I turn to my right, take pictures of his parents clapping. And then I take some pictures of the groomsmen clapping. And I go back to them and take some pictures of them hugging. So even though I was only the one photographer there, if you plan ahead and if you're really concentrated and you know all your buttons in your camera and everything's focused and all that, you can actually do a lot within like 2-3 seconds. And I think that was about 4 seconds, but I could get a lot of variety of shots. And as I typically do, once they start walking out, everybody stands up and I stand up with everybody else, and I start walking backwards and taking pictures of them as they're walking out. And some of the best pictures I've taken were actually these pictures when they're walking out, because they never look in your camera. They're always looking at the people to the sides, you know, they're giving like high fives and hugs. So you can actually get pretty cool shots, and nobody really minds that you're like standing up, because everybody else is usually standing up. Anyways, it's more chaotic at the end of ceremony, and again, nobody really cares, I don't think. For the group photos, what I do is I give my clients a form to fill out, and what they do is they fill out the groups that they want pictures of. So they can say, okay, me and my cousins, or my parents and I, stuff like that. So that way I can hand them that sheet of paper at the day of the wedding, and they can basically check them off as they go. So basically, typically what happens is they give that sheet of paper to a bridesmaid, and the bridesmaid calls people together, and we take group shots. So this way we can get the people together quicker, and I can do those shots much quicker than if I had to look for everybody. The group shots are typically very easy. You just line them up. Obviously first find good light, and here we have good horizontal, soft, clean light, very good. We just line them up, and then somebody tells a joke, or we ask them to laugh, or we do something. I mean, I don't work too hard on them, because all I care for is that everybody looks good, they're all smiling, they're all focused, and I typically shoot around 5 to 8 pictures per group, because if somebody looks awkward or they're, you know, blinking, since there's so many of them, the possibility for an error is larger. So I take like 8-10 shots, and that way I can pick one where nobody blinked and they all are smiling fine. And that's why I take so many shots, so I can pick one.
Owl.
Owl who?
I'll ask the questions around here.
Now when we do the formals, it starts out the same. I want to get first the safe shots, you know, the easy shots. So it's like, alright, stand over there. And of course, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, where's the light? Okay, light's coming this way. And the situation here again is, the sun is low enough that it's blocked by the hill or the trees in the back. So we're not standing in direct sunlight, so it's soft light. But since the sun's low, it's horizontal. And since it's not harsh, it's clean light. Right? So that we have the perfect situation. So I find that light, I put him where I need to put him, and then we just start out slow. Okay, just kiss or hug, or just something just simple, nothing complicated. I get those safe shots, and then later we can work with something more complicated where they're like really laughing, or there's something intimate going on. As I've said before, I'm not very good at making people laugh, so typically it's good to have a friend that helps to loosen people up. So in this case, we had a really great bridesmaid that had a really good connection with the bride, and you know, she was making them laugh. It was actually turned out really well, and I had to do almost no work. I was just snapping shots, making sure I'm focused. As always, refocus, shoot, refocus, shoot, refocus, shoot, refocus, shoot. Make sure my point, the focusing point, is on the bride's face, because she's the most important. So I was caring mostly about the technical part of it, and I let her do, you know, the social part. She was making them laugh, and of course I, you know, said a little bit of that, a little bit of this. But it wasn't like one of those shoots that I was like trying hard to make them look a certain way, because they felt comfortable, and I had a bridesmaid that was helping me out.
I missed that one.
I did it!
I don't know what's happening. What's going on?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
Well, it kind of looks like you're
Alright, pause.
Okay.
We gotta get over there. Continue this thing.
And continue this thing.
Now this red car, you know, sometimes at weddings you have these accidents, like you didn't plan on it, but something great happened and it made your pictures better. So this is one of them. Somebody came in this really cool red car, and we're like, oh, whose car is that? We should take some pictures by it. So somebody found the guest that brought the car, and we asked him, hey, can you move it over there where the lighting is good? So I told him, put it over there and that spot, because I knew the lighting was better over there. And so he did that, and we took lots of really great images with that car.